Welcome back. You know what? No one is immune to it, and this time of the year seems to be even worse. We're talking about stress.
Oh yeah, it seems like actually stress comes from external circumstances, but Dr. Mark Pirtle is here to tell us the real cause of stress and actually ways to prevent it. That sounds like the miracle everyone's looking for. How can I keep the stress away?
Well, it's understanding what causes stress. I think that's the important thing, because life is going to present challenging circumstances, whether or not you know what causes stress or not. And so when these circumstances arise, it's having the know-how and the skill to be able to manage what's coming at you in a really skillful way. That's where the magic happens. So if you want to know what actually causes stress, it's actually something that happens inside of you, and that's called attentional fixation. So let me explain. Attention is part of our consciousness. Attention is like a flashlight of consciousness. When you're paying attention to someone, it's like a beam of your consciousness is shining on them, or any circumstance. And if we can't be aware of everything, and so if too much of our consciousness is focused on this one thing, something that we crave, for example, something that we don't like, for example, all of our awareness will go away. So have you heard the expression blind rage before?
Yes.
So blind rage perfectly illustrates this point. If somebody's blindly raging, their attention is fixated on their object of anger, and they have no awareness. That's the cause of stress and the illnesses that arise from stress, like depression or anxiety, all kinds of addictions. 70% of the conditions that a person would go to the doctor for are caused by attentional fixation. They're caused by stress.
So how can we fix those things? I mean, if you have anxiety and depression and things like that, it's hard to deal with, and it's hard to function in your daily life.
Absolutely.
So what is, something that we could do to help that?
So the remedy is mindfulness. And how you practice being mindful is you learn how to meditate. And all the research now is saying that these modalities, although they're ancient, they really have applicability in the modern world. When you learn how to meditate and be mindful, what you're actually doing is you're learning to catch yourself in moments of fixation. When your attention zeroes in, when you lose awareness and you start to behave, act and speak reflexively. With the awareness, you can catch yourself. It's like becoming your own therapist in a way. And so in these moments where the blinders come on, you can wake yourself up with your awareness. You can have access to, at those moments, your values, the goals that you've set for yourself. You can start a dialogue with yourself in your own mind and talk yourself down. You learn how to not make challenging circumstances any worse, and that's what helps moderate the stress.
And so you have a meditation program.
Sure.
What's the first step somebody can do? What's the first thing you tell them?
Well, the first thing is to understand how consciousness functions, and so I teach everyone. So I worked at Sierra Tucson for a number of years, working with patients one-on-one. I still go out there and do talks, but every time I would sit with a person, I would teach them about that flashlight of attention, so they know what that is, and then they can begin monitoring when they get hooked. And there's a Tibetan word for when you get hooked. That word is shenpa, S-H-E-N-P-A. And so when a person is watching themselves for those moments, you'll feel it in your body. You'll notice it in your mind, lots of talk in your mind. That's shenpa. And the rule is keep the shenpa small. So when you feel the shenpa hitting, you've just been triggered, the thing to do at that moment is to bring back the awareness. And what bringing back awareness means is to begin to use your senses, like your eyes and your ears. And anybody at home that's watching this and you here right now, if you look at me, your attention is shining on me, but at the very same time, what you could do is you could become aware peripherally of the rest of the studio as you look at me. You could be aware of the sensations in your body as you look at me, and you could be aware even of the thoughts in your mind as you look at me. And if you do all of that, if you bring awareness back, you're actually being mindful. So mindfulness is full awareness, even though you know where your attention is. That's the first step.
So it's like being present.
Being present,
Yes.
exactly. And so when a person says be present, like how do you do that? Well, you do it by knowing where your attention is and then progressively bringing back your awareness. To the world, you're aware of this local environment. To your body, what are the sensations in my body? To your mind, what are the thoughts going back in mind? Those are the three domains of awareness: world, body, and mind. And that's the basics: local attention, global awareness.
Well, Doctor, I want to thank you so much for your time. And if you want to find out more, you're invited to join Skillfully Aware guided meditation program starting in early January. And as a special for you, mention that you saw them on the Morning Blend and you'll receive $100 off the price of the course. For more information, you can call 981-9911 or log on to skillfullyaware.com.